Wolf. Thanks for joining my podcast today. Speaking really loud because I'm in the Garden Point power plant. John Kirk, plant engineer, has been gracious enough to allow us to stop in today as a follow-up to our podcast from last day on the SteamForm valve that we provided him for making dealers. That SteamForm valve is right here, right behind me here. And then the spray water valve is over here. For more information about how a SteamForm valve works, we're going to attach a link so people can watch that. The purpose of today is to have John come in and talk about how the valve has performed. Has it delivered to his expectations?
This is the section of the P&ID that represents the SteamForm valve right here. So we're going to take a look at this first, and then we're going to go out into the plant and see where it actually is installed. The red represents the steam coming from the main steam line that gets reduced in pressure going to the steam host, and the blue represents the feed water that's used as a temperation spray, for the valve to reduce the temperature going out to the steam host.
John Kirk, plant engineer for Corning Power Plant. We had a couple of minor issues that were prepared on the warranty. The actuator side was able to double action. Each of the controls back up their warranty. We wanted to place this and calibrate the valve. Work on the jam. It's taking main steam and reducing it down to send more steam host 64. We've also a simulator spray valve which they supply, and we're retuning that valve now to better match the actual steam conditions that are observed.
The crossover valves are on the upper left corner there, and normally if the steam was going through the turbine first before it went out to the steam host, those would be close to being closed, only about 10% open, and it causes a lot of vibration because the unit was designed for a lot more steam flow to go to the host. So now, by taking some of that steam away from the turbine before it gets there, we're able to fully open those crossover pipes, eliminate that vibration problem, and back the unit off. Normal steam flow is going to the turbine, and it does some work in there first before it goes out, an extraction to the process steam line to the steam host, or it can go directly to the steam host off the main steam line through the new Masoneilan SteamForm valve. This is the MMI screen that the operator uses to control the new SteamForm valve and the spray attemperator as well.
Hey, this is Bill Wolf, and we are back at John's office, or his lair, as he likes to call it.
Eagle's lair.
The Eagle's lair. And but now what we're going to do is look at. John's going to show some screenshots and look at the Pi data, and what we're looking to do now is show the deliverables. If you remember from our first podcast, John's company invested all in about $200,000. Cost, valve cost, installation cost, etc. His deliverable target was at least $75,000 payout per month, and he's reaching and in some cases exceeding that target. And we just kind of wanted to show some data to back up that statement. So I'm going to float this over to John's screen here, and we've got John right here at his desk.
All right, so we do a lot of tracking of our work with Pi, and right now the SteamForm valve is letting 85 kph of steam head over to our host, and we have the unit back down right at the moment to 47 megawatts, and that's a couple of megawatts lower generation than we would be had we not had the valve in service. And if you remember from earlier, the branch of the main steam line that went over to the SteamForm valve, that steam is no longer going through the turbine. And so that means that the crossover valves can open up all the way, and that allows us to then, reduce the steam flow through the unit and reduce the megawatts that we're making to a minimum amount. And that's really where we're realizing the savings, because then if we're have to make less steam to, accomplish, if we can back the turbine off, then we can reduce our coal flow, and that's one of the number one cost to operating the plant is the fuel, and also lets us back off our lime slurry to the scrubber. That's the number two cost to operating the plant. So those two things combined, if we can reduce what the unit has to put out to the minimum amount possible, we can save quite a bit of money, and that's continuous savings the whole time that we're in service.
That's a wrap for us today. I want to thank John Kirsch again for his gracious hospitality, letting us come in and do this podcast today. I want to thank Megan Gels for doing the video and recording today. I want to thank Trent Cookbrand. He's going to do some behind the scenes stuff, put the podcast together as well. Again, that's a wrap for us. John, thank you. Folks out there, you have some requirements, some valve challenges, give us a call, issue control.